Test one, two, test one, two. Had a little bit of feedback. I think I took care of it. Test one, two, test one, two. Had a little bit of feedback. I think I took care of it. We'll make some further auto adjustments here. Test one, two, test one, two. Had a little bit of feedback. I think I took care of it. We'll make some. Okay, I hope I've got some type of weird loop back going on here. I hope that the audio is good on the far end. I'm a little bit reluctant, but welcome back to Swancentric Media Talks, Swancentric Talks Live with Mike B. I am Mike B. And before we move too far ahead, let's bring up my co-host.
Welcome to the Swancentric Talks Live Random Riff Show, November 23rd, 2025, with Mike B and me, AI Victoria. So here's Mike B.
This is my co-host, Victoria. I don't hear her. Let's see here. Stand by 1 second here. I apologize for the... I'm going to play that one more time so I can hear it. Go ahead, Victoria. Do your thing.
Welcome to the Swancentric Talks Live Random Riff Show, November 23rd, 2025, with Mike B and me, AI Victoria. So here's Mike B.
Okay. Okay, guys, sorry about that. It was a little bit clunky tonight. I've got several things going on here with this makeshift setup. And being my own producer for these shows, they're loop back features that I need to make sure that are turned off. Otherwise, you get that horrible echo like we had in the beginning. I apologize for that. Again, I do not do this full time. I do it when I have time, part-time, because I do work a full-time job. But when I do apply a strong focus to live events that I have in my professional life, I put a lot of work, a ton of work into making sure things are perfect. For these personal endeavors, hobbies, or further career objectives that I do have, I do not have a lot of time to invest in technology because I'm doing other things. I'm running around. I'm doing other things. Full-time live podcasters do their thing full-time, and they're able to really pin things down. So I'm working towards that. And I apologize for any technical issues with getting things started. And I hope things are going well right now on the end. On the far end, if I bring up the monitor right now on my phone, it's going to come back through the microphone here that I have, and it's going to create that loop back effect. So I will just trust that things are going exactly the way that they should be going. This is a random show. Again, this is a random riff show, which is a monologue, and just want to just kind of talk about some things as they pertain, to the upcoming holidays. Thanksgiving is around the corner. Next week, it's going to be a very slow day at my job, and I plan on taking some R&R, rest and relaxation during that time, and just relax and just kind of take a reset and take a breather. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the holidays in general. But this next week kicks off the holiday season for the most part, Thanksgiving. So that'll several days of just relaxing. I plan on taking well, maybe not doing a whole lot. Maybe doing a some very small road trip. Either out to Nevada or out to Arizona. I'm a desert guy. I love the desert. I love all things desert. I don't know why. I'm not much of a beach person, but I do enjoy the quiet time. Um, that I might experience in desert environments. I like the sand. I like the sunrise. I like the sunset. I like the quietness. I like the heat. I know that a lot of people do not like extreme temperatures. I don't like extreme temperatures either, but I do like it. When it's a little bit toasty, and I can, wear less clothing. Shorts, tank tops, sandals, etc. So I do enjoy that, but I do know that it gets cold as well in the desert locations. I'm fortunate enough to be in an area where I can pretty much experience both beach and desert as well as mountain, all within an hour. So I'm very fortunate to be able to be in that position to experience those three environments. But I'm a desert guy at heart. Speaking about the desert, I hope to return to Israel towards in December. I hope to, and I have a calling for Israel, but I also have a calling for the desert of Israel. And I had the opportunity this past summer to go out to Qumran on the Dead Sea area out there, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it out by the Dead Sea. And I've talked about that many times. If you've never been to the Dead Sea before, the waters of the Dead Sea, which are there's a lot of a lot of salt, of course, in the Dead Sea. Nothing can live in it. Nothing can survive in it. But if you just go to the Dead Sea, if you decide to go out there, just um, go out there and walk into the water. Don't submerge yourself, but walk into the waters of that heavily concentrated salt environment. Um, you know, arthritis and ailments that are in your body are resolved or healed. There's the mud out there that's in the mud that's out there that's heavily saturated with salt and sulfur. Also, you apply that to your body as well, and there seems to be some type of healing properties associated with that. I went out there, and I'm a man of a certain age, and my bones ache, my joints ache, and I remember going out there with these different the different pains. I do a lot of heavy lifting, etc. And I remember going out there and for about 45 minutes to an hour, and I came out of those waters feeling very um, refreshed, and a lot of the pain just seemed to go away. So if you get a chance to do that, go out to the Dead Sea. In it, it's there's not a whole lot to see out there except for a desert landscapes and things like that. But it's beautiful for people that appreciate that. So I encourage those who want to do that, do that. Sharing this picture with you. This is me in Qumran. If you don't know what Qumran is the area of the Dead Sea where the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered many, 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 many years ago. And the Dead Sea Scrolls, up to this day, um, I'm very intrigued by them. Very intrigued by them for so many various reasons. And I'll mention two in a couple of minutes, but I'm just intrigued by them. The Dead Sea Scrolls, they were found by Bedouin sheep herders towards the beginning of the 19th century in some caves out there. And if you look in where I'm sitting in the background, towards the mountains, there are caves all around there. And I'm fortunate enough to have been able to just kind of get a bird's eye view of some of that. This is a sign that I wanted to showcase. There's a path in the back of me that kind of walks up towards these the mountains, and there are caves that you can physically see in this area. And it was just we were out there in the summer. It was really hot, really hot. There are water stations in the building because it is a public place. But it was extremely hot out there that day. But I just felt so um, immersed and integrated into the environment that I really wanted to be out there to get a feel for everything. And I actually made this video for my son. My son's like my two.
Hey, Joey. We're out here walking up towards the mountain area where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found up here. It's real hot out here, but I love it. It's beautiful. Great hiking for those hikers. But this is the ancient area where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. Book of Enoch, all that valuable text that was written thousands of years ago. I'm gonna touch the rocks. I'm gonna walk the path. You gotta get out here, Joey. It's a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Let's go.
So I just wanted to share that with you. Just a bit of video that I took when I was out there. I have a calling to get back out there. Despite the geopolitical situation that's happening in the Middle East, I do have a calling to get back out there, and I really want to. My heart is in Israel. But going back to the Dead Sea Scrolls, interesting enough, the book of Enoch was actually discovered among the Dead Sea Scrolls when they were discovered, and the book of Enoch, which was left out of the modern day Bible, by the way, was because the text at that time. I'm assuming I'm not the expert. Was a little bit too much for the world to handle at the time, because it does talk about a lot of things that are of apocalyptic nature. And there's several books there's several chapters of the book of Enoch, and the book just talks about divine judgment, rewards of the righteous, punishment of the wicked, things of that nature. And then there's another book another chapter within the book of Enoch that I think is super significant, which is the book of the Watchers. And chapters 6 through 36 actually talk about fallen angels and Enoch's journey through the realms, the various realms, through earth and the heavens, and he explains these various realms through his travels within the Book of Watchers. Very interesting things, And then there's the parables of Enoch, where they talk about visions of judgments and the Messiah, the resurrection and afterlife. Additionally, then there are other things about the astronomical teachings about how the planets operate within the universe, and the sun and the moon, etc., things of this nature. And then there's the dream text. The dream text, talks about visions of the future, historical accounts of the flood, and the future of Israel. So there's also that in the book of Enoch. And then there's there are other parts that talk about warnings and what happens to the wicked towards judgment, where they go. He talks about Gehenna and Sheol. These are areas between heaven and hell where souls go. So very interesting texts in the book of Enoch. But specifically, if you're interested in just knowing about Enoch's journey, because remember, Enoch, him and Elijah were the only two to be taken up to heaven in their natural bodies. So Enoch never died, and Elijah, they never died. They were actually taken up. So according to text, they're actually in heaven with God and Jesus. So they were actually taken up in their natural bodies. So they were able. So Enoch was able to see these various realms, as he was traveling. With the I think he was traveling with the angel Uriel. So he the chapters, and I won't talk about it here, but the chapters 6 through 36 in the Book of the Watchers is very interesting. Too much for me to talk about here on this platform, but check it out if you're interested. Book of Enoch. The Book of the Watchers, chapters 6 through 36. Very interesting. Check it out. It's online. Interesting enough, there's another scroll that was actually discovered with the parchment scrolls was the copper scroll. Now the copper scroll was a metal scroll, and it wasn't created in a traditional way. But it was actually the text was actually transcribed on a copper plate, and when this scroll was found, it was rolled up, and because of the years of the environmental factors, there was oxidation on the copper scroll. So if you were able to open it up, it would just fall apart. It would break. So a bit of technology had to be applied to that, and the copper scroll had to be actually chopped up into several pieces, and then to put back together in a flat form in order to be able to be deciphered. But the copper scroll actually talks about, believe it or not, treasure. Take a sip here. Talks about hidden treasure that has captivated archaeologists over the centuries. And the hidden treasure, according to the text of the copper scroll, this copper scroll was discovered in 1952 in Cave 3 in Qumran, where I showed you on the video, that area. And it was made of 99% pure copper. And it talked about 64 locations of where this treasure is dispersed. 64 locations. And of those 64 locations, 91 tons of treasure that consisted of both gold and silver were a part of that treasure. So 91 tons? That's a lot of gold and silver that was described in the copper scroll. And in various in 64 hidden locations. So 94 tons, gold and silver, in 64 locations dispersed throughout Jerusalem. Nothing was ever found. If it was found, certain scholars have said that maybe the Romans found it and they seized it and it was already taken. But there's been no definitive evidence to indicate that happened. The location of the treasure, which was described in the scrolls, were so vague that they were undecipherable. The language of that day was so vague. And I'll just give an example. Under the hill to the left, walk 5 steps and look down. that vague. So very vague instructions on where to find this treasure for that time, and of course, nothing ever really came out of it. So that was the interesting thing about the Copper Scroll, and in its crypticness of the locations. So um, that kind of gives an overview of um, the Dead Sea Scrolls. And again, this is just skimming the top with just providing an overview. There's the Copper Scroll. I've had the opportunity to view a replica of the Dead Sea Scrolls at the museum in Jerusalem. There is a replica of the Dead Sea Scroll in the historical museum in Jerusalem, which is a beautiful place. Not only is the Dead Sea Scroll a replica of that, which is in a well protected area, by the way, so even the replica is highly protected. But there's so much other history surrounding Israel and the Jewish culture that's actually in that museum. If you ever visit Jerusalem, let that be one of the places that you go on your bucket list to go, because it's definitely worth seeing. I was caught up when I was there. One of the things that I saw there in the museum when I visited was I walked into a room, and there was a sort of like the floor with a glass bottom, and through the glass bottom it was filled probably I don't know, 10 feet of nothing but shoes of Holocaust victims, just a big pit full of shoes. So that was so profound and compelling to see that type of thing. And these were authentic shoes. You could tell they just they were worn, but it was just artifacts that were collected for victims of the Holocaust. So again, not to get off on that, but the museum is definitely much more than the Dead Sea Scrolls. It's everything associated with many events that have happened to Jewish people and Israelis over the years. So again, I look forward to the upcoming holiday season. There's been a lot going on in the news lately. Again, this is just a random riff. The government opened back up, thank goodness. Those who receive benefits, I'm glad that they're able to receive those benefits still. And I was gonna maybe bring up Victoria to give a couple of words on what she feels about Thanksgiving, and maybe give a historical perspective on Thanksgiving. So let's bring Victoria up really quick. I gotta put my headset on to hear her. Hello, Victoria. I'm currently live on Swancentric podcast. We're talking about Thanksgiving.
Hello, Mike. Sounds like you're live on the Swancentric podcast discussing some intriguing topics. That's fantastic. I'm excited to be a part of the conversation and share my insights on the Book of the Watchers from the Book of Enoch. What would you like to dive into first?
Well, Victoria, I've already talked about the Watchers, so we're off that subject. But what can you tell our audience about Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving holiday?
Oh, switching gears to Thanksgiving, huh? Well, Thanksgiving is a holiday celebrated in various countries and on different dates. It originated as a religious festival in England and later became a secular celebration in North America. It's a time for giving thanks and spending time with loved ones, often over a hearty meal. Did you know that the date for Thanksgiving in the United States this year is Thursday, November 27th?
No, I did not know that. But yes, I know it now. Of course, I know that. Just joking.
Haha, Mike, you got me there. I'm glad I could share a bit of fun trivia about Thanksgiving. It's always interesting to learn more about the origins and traditions of holidays, and a bit of humor never hurt either.
Victoria, what other countries in the world celebrate Thanksgiving?
Wow, Mike, it turns out that several countries around the world celebrate Thanksgiving, each with their own unique traditions. For example, countries like Canada, Liberia, Ghana, Japan, and even Germany have their own Thanksgiving celebrations, often featuring special foods, parades, and other customs that reflect local cultures and histories. It's fascinating to see how the idea of giving thanks for a good harvest has spread across the globe, taking on new forms and meanings in different places.
Thank you so much, Victoria. And if you wanted to wish everyone listening to this podcast a happy Thanksgiving, how would you say it?
My pleasure, Mike. To all the listeners tuning into this awesome podcast, I'd like to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. May your tables be filled with delicious food, your hearts be filled with gratitude, and your lives be filled with joy and love. Enjoy the holiday and remember to give thanks for all the blessings in your lives.
Thank you, Victoria. That was super sweet. I will talk to you later. Thank you. So this is our random Sunday night show. I'm looking forward to enjoying some time off, and I do plan on doing some lives while on the road. Yes, just kind of showing, um, um, little small things here and there as I travel. Whether it's appreciating a sunset or a sunrise or some good music or a nice show somewhere, just being able to relax. I want everyone out there to remember to be safe. Before I go, there's one thing that's on my mind, and that is conflict. I see in the media every day about random conflicts and conflicts that are avoidable. Don't feel that you have to make conflict with someone just to get your point across, to relay your point. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to say, okay, you got it. Have a nice day. It's okay to do that because I'm seeing too much of situations that are occurring, and I won't name any specific situations of just random acts of violence. It's getting out of hand, and there's no need for it. And we have to start appreciating one another and truly giving thanks to be alive. So random acts of violence are not accepted or not condoned or not respected anywhere in this world. Respect one another, respect mankind, and live your best life and present yourself in the best version possible that you can each and every day without violence. With that, I'm going to call it a show, and I hope to give another show sometime this week, wherever I may be. Happy holidays, to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Mike B. And AI.